Hey everybody, welcome into Tree of Life Oracles. This is Elle and I'm been called to do a reading on recovering from sadness and heartbreak or heartache. So this seems to be a prevalent theme that I've been picking up on. So we're gonna start out, we're actually gonna do a different little spread with this one today. We're gonna pull some overall oracle energy for your past. And within that, we're going to look at the past situation, and then we're going to look at the emotions that that situation has created. Then we're going to turn to the present. We're going to pull the overall energy from an oracle for the present. And in the present, we're going to take a look at your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit, and see where those energies take us. And we'll clarify anything in the present where there's confusion. I anticipate that we're probably going to see a lot of interesting information under the mind and possibly under the spirit, maybe more than the heart. Then finally, we're going to move to the future. And when we do the future, we're going to look at who's helping you or, now into the future, what's next for you, and then whatever final advice. And through that, we're going to be doing a combination of oracle decks and tarot cards. So let's start. I wanted to start for the past with this Healing Waters oracle. And these have already been shuffled a lot. I'm going to go ahead and do it again, but okay, spirits and guides, angels. Before I get into this, I probably should say that these are general readings. So take what resonates for you and leave the rest if it doesn't. And if it's not your reading, come back another time for a different one. But just pull from this what resonates with you and your situation. Okay? All right. Spirits and guides, angels and ancestors. What do we have for this community? What do we have as past energy, or the energy over the past regarding this question? One card, please. There it is. So we have let it rain, allowing what is, inevitably, and trust. Okay, so we're going to put that here. I want to make sure everybody can see it. All right, so we're going to put that in the past for the past energies. Okay. All right, we'll come back to this deck for the future energy as well. Okay, so what we want to look at is, let's look using the Tower of the Owls. Let's really look at the situation. What was really the situation regarding this let it rain? All right, we actually have two. We have, actually the King of Swords came out first, and the Fool. All right, and then, okay, they're saying that's enough for that one. So what I'm getting immediately with this Let It Rain card is, nothing could say more about lots of emotion. And in the past is tons of emotional issues. Your trust could have been violated. I think for a lot of you, that's the case, that your trust was either betrayed or violated by someone that you really counted on to be a friend or an honored soulmate. And they betrayed that trust in one way or another. But Spirit's also saying that this was inevitable. So perhaps some of this past sadness was also due to the fact that your gut, your inner wisdom, your intuition kept giving you hints and red flags that this was a situation that maybe this person or this situation wasn't as trustworthy as you thought they were, or maybe it wasn't as happy or joyful situation as you believed. And in the end, you had to face the truth. So there's both heartache and sadness in both of those ideas. And somebody cut you pretty deep with the King of Swords. I mean, that's, at its very best, the King of Swords is really about wisdom and mental mastery. But at its worst, the King of Swords is pretty cold, and he's carrying a sword. I mean, it's a weapon. And in this case with the Foolish, that forced you both into a new beginning, but it also made you feel, and I think I just said foolish. That's where I was going. Is that it probably made you feel foolish, or it made you feel in a vulnerable position, and kind of forced you into a situation where you had to start again, or that you have to start again. I don't know that this situation is complete for everyone. I get the feeling that for some of you it's complete, but I think for others of you it's not yet done completely. So something to keep in mind. All right, so let's use the vice versa. And let me just I'm gonna look at the bottom of the deck on this. The High Priestess. Yep, the High Priestess literally just validated what I just said. Thank you, Spirit. That there was a sense of knowing that something was not quite right, or that it might not be the way you hoped it would be. So with vice versa, if you haven't seen this deck before, there are images on both sides of each card. And it is a traditional type of tarot deck on one side, and then on the other side, there's different meanings. So you may have for instance, this is also I think this is the Queen of Swords. So you might see her, that would be the traditional Queen of Swords side, but then on the back, you also have a different perspective, okay? So we'll take these the way the cards come up. I'm gonna read the side that I pull and look at first, okay? All right, Spirit, so give us an idea about what's part of this story of the being cruelly and coldly cut, and having to either start over or having vulnerabilities feel violated. What is that? Okay. All right. So the first thing that we have is the Ten of Cups. But in this situation, let me show you this side. This is the Ten of Cups. What we think of as the Ten of Cups. Happiness, 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 happiness. Happily ever after, right? Well, the side that's come up for us is this Ten of Cups. And so when I look at this one, you see all the cups there, but it also, you see this individual person. Happiness has to be within. It's got to be something that you find within yourself first. So you might have been looking at this other person as someone who was going to bring in, that idea when you hear it in romance movies all the time about, oh, you complete me and things like that. And reality is that why that sounds really fulfilling and beautiful, the truth is we have to be complete within ourselves first. And it's a hard thing to deal with, right? All these emotions. But the 10 cups are there. But the 10 cups, you've got to put your happily ever after on yourself. And this is not saying that you won't have happily ever after with someone else. This is just simply saying that this King of Swords actions, pushing you into this situation with the Fool, means that you're going to really have to focus on what makes you happy as an individual, what gives you your happily ever after, because there's things, with the lotus petals, there's new things you've yet to discover spiritually. With all this water, there are things you've yet to discover emotionally. The 10 cups are there, but right now you need to focus on you, okay? And this is in the past. And if you haven't gotten to that conclusion yet, this is foreshadowing that this is where you're headed. So begin really looking. If you're still in this situation, even though this is technically the past, for some of you, this isn't going to have been completely finalized yet. Some of it's happened, but not all of it. And for others, it's already happened, and you know. So now you've got to be prepared to focus on you going forward. What else, Spirit? What else? What else has this situation really brought? And we came up with this version of the Two of Cups. Now, this is the Two of Cups that you typically see, right? They're toasting. It's very beautiful. And then you've got this side. This is the side, the night side. And you notice the fountain isn't there. This is the other perspective. So this is really about a wish, right? So it's also saying that your wish for partnership may be granted a little differently than you thought it would be. Let's get a little more. Spirit, give us more on that Two of Cups, please. Excuse me. So you got the non-traditional side of the Temperance card. So typically, Temperance is really about balancing out. You see the Temperance angel balancing between the two cups, and it's sort of finding serenity. This is talking about really looking at balancing your courage and your wisdom. You've got the bird for wisdom and thought, and then your heart for courage. So this is really asking you to find that strength within yourself, and don't let your thoughts get in the way. Balance your thoughts out. So for some folks, you've really been overthinking a lot of this, and that's easy to do. That's what we're all capable of doing, is overthinking. You know, sort of the wheel of the mind that just continues to go, and you just can't get the thoughts out of your mind. This side of the Temperance angel is saying, look, it's really time to, I want to slide these up because I want to be able to see them. One day I will find the perfect camera angle. This is really talking about what you need to find within and balance within. And as you do that, you focus on your own happiness, and you find your own courage and strength, and you find your wisdom, then that's going to set up for the Two of Cups to happen, right? In other words, really looking, the Fool card was the perfect card here because it really shows that it's all about a new start. You're being propelled into the present to do something completely new. So I want to use the Energy Oracle to pull the energies for the present time. Now we have the Goddess of the Moon. I love this card. This is really about that beautiful, divine, feminine energy, right? And it's showing us that in the present, there's some amazing new spiritual insights. Maybe it's development of your skills and abilities, your psychic skills and abilities, or your intuitiveness. There's some beautiful, the present's really about some very beautiful spirituality that's happening. So let's look, actually for this one, I want to use the vice versa. Hold on, I'm going to move that out of the way. I want to use vice versa. Let's look at your heart, your mind, your body, and your spirit, and then we'll clarify as we need to. So Spirit, show us in the present for this wonderful group, what card is representing what's going on in their emotional state or their heart right at the moment. All right, so we have the back side of the King of Swords. This is the regular side, right? Typical King of Swords. And on the back side, you see the lightning, you see some chaos. There's a sickle there where things have been cut down. It's murky and foggy. So in your heart right now, things are not very clear. But keep in mind, it's the King of Swords. You're being given the King of Swords for what's happening in your heart. So that should really talk about overthinking. It's really, really, really about overthinking and using that overthinking process, the mental turmoil, negative thought patterns. It's all of that information, that process of negative thinking, or that's really driving what's happening in your heart. I think it's interesting that Spirit gives us the King of Swords in both of these. This is the action of the King of Swords, and this is the remnants of what the King of Swords is left. Because, I mean, he is cutting and powerful. So you're left at this place of murkiness within your emotions, right? And I think that until we as humans, as individuals, become conscious of the fact that a lot of our emotional state is driven by how we think and how we process thought forms, we're never going to get out of those feelings of disappointment, lack, sadness, and things like that. Even though technically sadness is an emotion, most of the time, and this takes us back to the Three of Swords. You know, in the deck, it's always, everybody always talks about that card as being heartbreak. But the reality is it's swords. It's the thoughts that do us in. So just being aware of your thoughts. I love the fact that we get the backside of it, because you see the damage he's done. But the beautiful thing is guess what? He's turned his back on us. He's moving on. So this is power. We're going to get another card in just a minute and clarify what that really looks like going forward. All right, Spirit, let us see what's happening in the space of the mind. All right, so in the mind, we have the Eight of Swords, lots of sword energy. Now, what you notice about this is the typical Eight of Swords that you see in the tarot, correct? She's blindfolded, she's bound, but there's swords right there. I mean, she could easily brush up against them and cut the bonds, cut the ropes, right? But and you see she's placid, she's not freaking out, she hasn't lost her, she hasn't lost her mind at this point. She's just sitting there just kind of accepting. Either she doesn't want to see, or she is confused enough to not really understand where to look, right? But she's kind of accepting of it. She's sort of accepting the state her thoughts are in. On this side, what you really notice is that there's one sword that's under the ropes, which means literally all she has to do is twitch her arms and she cuts herself free. And you see this beautiful eagle coming in. Eagle, the wisdom. This is the universal wisdom, the wisdom of the divine. There's all of this magnificent, beautiful vista, the mountains and the skies and the trees, and you even see a path over here. There's a path. You know the way out. You know the way out. You just have to cut yourself out of the fear. You have to cut yourself out of the bonds. So some of the idea about, again, bonds being self-imposed, sometimes that's true. But don't be offended with yourself. I mean, I think it's really easy to get irritated with ourselves and go, well, damn it, I don't know why I do this. And it's truly understandable. But you got to be nice to yourself. You've got to be willing to understand these things are happening, especially at this point in time, because these are the lessons, the shadow work that you're going through to transform your whole way of being. So you're transforming how your mind, how your mental, the mental part of your affect, how that behaves. And if you don't see it, if you don't notice it, then you don't really get the opportunity. I love the fact that these are the way they are. And I know you're going, what the heck are you talking about? That's crappy. But it really isn't. Because again, you see the destruction. The destruction's already happened. Because he's got his back on you. He's walking the other way. Which means if he's walking the other way, if all of this nastiness and this betrayal and that's walking away, it also means you're walking in the other direction too. The difference is that you just have this one moment, you just got to trust yourself to cut yourself out and then start walking forward. You're at that moment in time where you have to make the decision, okay, I got to do something different. Okay, I got to pick something. I just have to take even if you take one step forward. Maybe you choose to get up and make your bed. Maybe you typically have been getting up and you just leave the bed unmade. Maybe you choose to get up and make your bed. That's a step. That's a step in the right direction. Why? Because you chose to do something different. This is really about retraining the way we think. Maybe is that you decide to take a walk at lunch instead of playing on your phone. Even if it's only for 10 minutes. Even if it's just to walk outside and look at the sun for a moment, breathe listen to the breeze in the trees, or if you're somewhere swelteringly hot, to sweat a little, But the thing is that you chose to take a step in a different direction. And the more times you learn to take a step in the different direction, the easier it becomes to do that. And then the next thing you know, you're going, oh, well, I'm gonna go somewhere, to this shop I've always wanted to go to, or I'm gonna go to this restaurant I've always wanted to go to, or I'm gonna go to this resort I've always wanted to go to, or I'm gonna actually look at maybe getting a different job because I've always wanted to do something different. Or I think I've really always wanted to go back to school and study this. Let me actually investigate that. You're taking a step in some direction that's new and different. This isn't about where you're walking. It's about the fact that you chose to take the step in the first place. So just keep in mind, you're on the right track. Don't beat yourself up. Take one little step differently. Maybe it's when you go to the gym and you just decide to do your exercises in a different sequence. Because what it shows you is that your mind is adaptable, that you have flexible thinking, that you're able to look at the world around you or look at the situation around you with a different perspective, a different view, right? So this is really about you just exercising, taking that step, a step to do something different. Even if you normally order, a specific coffee from your favorite coffee shop every morning, deciding to order something different, right? Because it's showing you that you have a choice, that you can make the choice, and you can be happy with the choice. So think of this as just training. This is the divine, your guide, your angels, the ancestors, the ascended masters. They're just training you to approach your world from a different place of empowered space. I can choose to do something different. I can make the decision. I can go with it, and I can like it. I don't have to be stuck always doing things the way I've always done them. All right, let's look at the body, the space of the body. Spirit, can you show us the space of the body? All right, so this is what would normally be the 9 of Pentacles. All right, this is the normal side, the side you normally see, right? And what we got today is we got the other side of the 9 of Pentacles, right? This is about personal abundance and independence. And what's beautiful about this side of this card is that she's, in this one, it's pretty straightforward. You see her, sunny, happy. The doves are lighting on her arm. She's got the bunny at her feet. Let's see, can you see the bunny? Yeah, there you go. Lots of pentacles. She's abundant. She's independent. She's content. Everything is there. But this, you notice here that the birds haven't landed on her wrist yet. Do you see that up here, how the birds haven't quite landed on her wrist? And in this one, they have. One of them is sitting. This is the choice. Choice of peace, inner peace. She's also looking at the moon. She's looking at the tower and understanding that she has a say in how this all plays out. She has a choice to be at peace with the dove. She has a choice to pull in her spiritual divine self, the divine feminine energies through the moon. She has a choice to really seek what the eagle gives her in wisdom, right? She has a choice to see a nice solid foundation instead of, constant trashing of the tower through divine intervention or fate to shake things up. She can stay nice and stable, nice and secure and solid, and she can really use this time of independence to do what pleases her, what she enjoys, what she loves. It's not just about, while this is a card of independence and all this kind of, independence and abundance and things like that, the reality is that it's really just looking at the material. This, on the other hand, isn't just looking at the material. You can have material abundance and wealth, but this is saying, look, you can also, with stability, you can look at that big, beautiful moon and you can really go into the divine. You can really go into your spiritual energies. You can find wisdom. You can find peace. You can invest in all different aspects of your soul while you're abundant, while you might be alone and independent for a time. Doesn't always have to be a bad thing. This is about your growth. Okay. All right, Spirit, let's see what's in the area of Spirit. This one's going to be the interesting one. What for our group here is really in the place of the Spirit. Look at this. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Now, this is the other side. You got the traditional side today. Four of Pentacles. This is about stability, right? And I happen to like this Four of Pentacles because most of the traditional Rider-Waite ones really show the person holding, they're just clinging to their coins, right? Or clinging to their pentacles because they're so afraid they need to control everything and they're so afraid to let them go. But that's not what this gentleman's doing. This gentleman is secure. You notice him? He's very balanced. He's very secure. He knows who he is. He is very, very stable. And that's where we need to be in the place of Spirit. Stability. Understand that Spirit, being in your place of spirituality, helps to bring this abundance. The other thing about this particular card is that there's a burning wand at the bottom, right? And with that burning wand, that's your creativity. That's the fire that you lit under yourself. This is basically saying, look, it's time to light a fire and go do something that I'm passionate about. All of this stuff is stable. I need to quit worrying. Now that my needs are being met and I feel abundant, I need to just realize the abundance is there and quit worrying about it. I need to go forth and be creative. I need to go through this spiral. The spiral, this is the labyrinth, that you go through for spiritual enlightenment and understanding. It's time to go through the labyrinth. It's time to explore all these creative energies that I have within me and all these spiritual energies because my regular life is stable now. And I need to accept that. I can't worry about it anymore. I need to accept that it's there. And so this really is about understanding it's time to just let go of the physical, keep doing what you're doing in the physical, but now it's really time to start moving here. I love the beautiful energies on these. I really, really do love the beautiful energies on these. So let's get a little bit more. Actually, let's do the Tarot of the Owls. Spirit, is there any additional information that we need to know about heart, mind, body, spirit for our group? Seven of Cups. Now, sometimes this is a confusion, but that's not what they're telling me. What they're telling me is that you have options. You don't have to be confused about your options. Try a little bit of this, try a little bit of that. This is the time to really find out what you really want, what you like, what you love. Who knows? You may discover something new that you had no idea you would love as much. And it may be where your future takes you. It may be a huge component of your future. So this is the time to explore. It's the time to explore your emotions and understand that you can emotions don't have to control you, right? They don't have to override everything. This is the time for figuring out your options and learning to be comfortable with emotions maybe not making sense all the time, right? Because when we don't understand our emotions, that's when we start overthinking. Because as humans, we just can't not put the brain in it, right? So we have to start overthinking, trying to understand, what does this mean? Why did I feel that? Why does this make me feel like this? Oh, I don't think I understand this. Oh my goodness, why am I feeling like this? Why am I, when you start to get into that, then you're inviting the brain, you're inviting all those swords to take over again. We don't want to do that right now. Spirit is clearly saying, rest with your emotions. Understand that sometimes emotions are confusing. It's okay. You have options. Go and explore different things. Maybe see where your emotions take you. Do something you like. Do something that gives you joy. Do something that you love. Be something. You've got, the thing with this 7 of Cups is that, you have all kinds of things. You have a rainbow. Figure out what makes you happy. The snake here, this is wisdom. This is the wisdom of the ages. This is about time, moving through time, and the caduceus, your health. This is about an owl. This is divine wisdom, right? And then you also have like a birdhouse. This is stability. You have riches. You have, these are little mice, little curious mice, curiosity. You have a dragon. This is your magic. Explore any of these things. You don't have to understand why you feel the way you do all the time. And you don't have to understand it to the point that you put yourself back into this heavy sword-based thinking. This is a time for sitting in your emotions and finding that beautiful balance and exploring the world and exploring the world within. This is clearly the divine feminine energy. This moon energy is all over this reading, right? We have a star in this card, multiple stars. We have moon. We have a moon in this one as well, along with the clouds. There's all kinds of beautiful things. And this one, we've got lightning. This lightning, oh, they just told me divine intervention. See, this situation was never going to be that great anyway. So your guides are swooping in to help you, right? Yes, it may hurt, but in the long run, it allows you to find your magic. Here, find what you love. All right, let's look in the future. Let's get a different energy. Let's go back to the Healing Waters Oracle. Spirit, give us what we need for the future. Where do these energies, what really sums up where these energies should be going in the future? All right. We have the waterfall. This is beautiful. Inner power, unbridled confidence, and claiming your place. All right, they're saying this is you finding you, the you are always meant to be. This is you, okay? And it's okay to embrace it. The phoenix rises from the ashes. In order to grow again, the phoenix gets to a certain age and then will turn to ash. And then from the ashes rises a new baby phoenix so that he can grow anew. And that's what this is. This is your growth phase. This is the time to be, look at the power in that with the waterfall. Look at that power. Be the waterfall. I love it. Inner power, unbridled confidence, claiming your place. This is staking your claim, my friends. This is about being present in the world as the beautiful, unique being that you are always meant to be. It's about nonconformity. It's about who you are and how you are and how that's going to change both your life and the world itself. All right, let's find out who's helping. Who's helping? All right, spirits, let us know who's helping. Who's helping this process for our friends? We have Mother, Father, God. That's like the sun energy. Look at that. It's amazing. Earth, Mother, Sky, Father. In other words, you are protected by the divine. Who else is helping? Compassion. Have compassion for yourself, have compassion for others. And that's where the balance and enlightenment comes from. This has been really adversarial for you. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's just growth. You can't become that phoenix if you don't rise from the ash, right? So be the phoenix. You can do this. You can do this. All right, and let's look at what's next. All right, so I want to use, let's do the energy oracle. I love the energy oracle too. Today they even told me what decks to use. Oh wow, patience. We must have some patience. So in other words, you see the clock on the angel's midsection. So this is about divine timing, being patient with your destiny and with divine timing for whatever that means, whatever divine timing is talking about. Okay, it doesn't matter if it could be a relationship, it might not be a relationship, it might be just, it might be a calling, a job, an event, doesn't matter. Patience. What else? What else and what's next? Spirits and guides, what's next? All right, we got the thinking man, okay? So this is about finding that balanced thinking and wisdom. Really, instead of letting your mind becoming the dictator of how you deal with everything in life, this is really about you finding the balanced thinking and wisdom that you need to move forward. You know what you need to do. You know what you want to do. This is about not being guilted into not doing it. This is about really moving forward and taking that step. All right, for the very last part of it, let's get some final advice, okay? Actually, you know what? I want to pull a different deck for the final advice. Let's pull out the cosmic reading cards. I love those. Try not to slide my cards every which way. Okay, Spirit, what are some final advice for this, for what's coming in the future for this wonderful community of folks? The Golden Crown. Oh my goodness. Look at that. The Golden Crown. Illumination, my friends. Look at that. That's wow. That's the wisdom, the knowledge. It's beautiful. Just remember that every time you go through an adversarial event or phase or moment, it's happening because there's something to learn from it. There's something to learn from it. Actually, this one. Let's get one more of these, the Kyle Gray Angel Oracle cards to go with this. Give us more information about the Golden Crown. Vulnerability and freedom. Look at that. She gets the star. She gets her wish. It's beautiful. So it's saying that understanding that balance, that temperance angel, really, you're able to be vulnerable and still be free. And we're so used to thinking about things over and over and over again, processing the cognitive parts of our mind, right? That's how you learn in school. It's how it's the mind that's being asked to do this, that, or the other. It's always about what do you think? Somewhere along the way, we have forgotten about what do we know? And by knowing, I mean spiritual knowing. What do we know? Well, we know a lot of things in our souls. And we've spent a lot of our lifetime overriding that with what do we think and what do we feel. So Spirit is saying, it's really about sitting with yourself, whether it's in meditation, it's in sound baths, it's in choosing to do something you really genuinely love and feeling the joy, being out in nature, being with the four-legged beings or the winged beings. What do we know? What do we know about ourselves? What do we know about our place in the universe? What do we know about the divine? That's the question that we should all be focusing on. I hope that some of whoever needed to hear this got the blessing of this. I know this resonates for me too. It reminds me of some things that I can't forget either. And let's all go forward and remember what we know. This past part is done. You can let it go. It's taught you what you need to do. If you're still in it, what you know is that moving forward, you're going to be in this glorious, beautiful state. Vulnerability, freedom, and the golden crown. Wow, 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 and wow, right? Have a blessed and beautiful day. If you already haven't done so, please like and subscribe. It just helps the channel, and I'm eternally grateful to those of you who have done it. Our lives are changing, mine included, with adjustments and new things, and take that step. I decided to take a step this week that was different than what I planned to do. And I got to be honest, it's made every bit of difference in the world in so many ways. And it was one step. One step. And it's going to make amazing difference for me. My state of mind, my state of heart, my state of body, and my spirit, my soul. So take that step, whatever that step is for you. It doesn't have to be a big one. Just choose to take a different step, to do something differently. And ask yourself every day, what do you know? I love it. It's awesome. It's a beautiful message. Thank you so much, my friends. Have a glorious, beautiful weekend. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.